or you can have a private discussion with me if you wish. That is the idea, to give the ladies a place where they can unwind. Also, if they talk to me, I'm not going to talk to anybody else. It's quite safe. Because there's a lot of stress in daily life. Rosie and I came on the bus today, and we see all the women with their 3-4 bags of shopping, walking along, carrying, they're going home to cook and clean. So that's what I thought the evening would be like. I don't know if anybody had any ideas. No. Well, I've been a nun for 20 years. Most of that time I've lived in Sri Lanka. I taught Perivena, monks and nuns. My main subject was English and Vinaya. I taught foreign monks and nuns also. In the Perivena I was number 3, and it was a big responsibility. Sometimes we had 100 students. Now we don't have so many because we're all old. So for me, I went to Burma. I did a 1.5 year intense meditation in Burma. Then I came back and I just lived my life. Now I'm back here in England. But I think the most important thing for us to learn is our breath. Our breath is not just for sitting in formal meditation. Our breath is for constant use. Wherever we are, whatever arises, we can control with our breath. I was very sick in Sri Lanka and in a hospital. I taught the nurses how to use their breath. They constantly infusions, venflons, infusions. So I taught them how to use their breath. Also in their daily life, on the bus most of all. So the Buddha gave us 40 samatha meditations. When we do intense meditation, we are taught samatha and vipassana together. Samatha is calming. We don't change anything with samatha. All we do is we are calm, but the problem can arise again. With vipassana, the idea is to be, when we say mindful's not this fascinating thing that's hard to get. It's not like trying to get moon dust. It's not like that. And with our breath, we can understand what we are thinking and what we are doing. And vipassana changes our way of life and helps us cope with things. And it really does work. Really does work. So if anyone ever has a chance to do a vipassana retreat, please go, because it will change your life. Won't make you an arahant, won't make you a sohan, but it will help you in your life. So what I thought was, everyone knows how to breathe, yes? We do it all the time, we don't think about it, yes? Well, tonight we're going to think about it. Now, the most important thing is your sitting position. Now, when I teach people, they're usually on cushions. But what we do is, we don't actually sit on the base of our spine here. When you sit down, you wriggle around a bit, yes, and you have a little scratch or whatever. But what you have to do, you go to one side and you pull this bit of your buttock up, and then you do the same with this side. And when you do that, you find you're sitting on the 2 big bones. And that is not so much pressure for you. And then the other thing is your back. You don't want to sit like this. I know very few people, unless they've been meditating from children, that can sit like this for any length of time. So you sit comfortably on the floor, on a chair, lying down, standing, whichever's the easiest way. But the Buddha taught us to sit cross-legged for a reason. We are sitting in a triangle. And if we look at our spine is straight in that position. Different countries, they teach people, women especially, to sit differently, with legs to one side or legs under. Legs under is not so bad, but it's not good for the knees. But sitting to one side like this is very bad for your spine. And if you're going to sit for any length of time, you will have a problem at some stage. You will have difficulty, pain, nerve pain, or whatever. So we try. And the most comfortable way is, as I say, to sit on these big bones with your legs crossed. Even if you're sitting on the chair, you can cross your legs. It's very comfortable. Yes? And then you just tilt forward, just slightly forward, until your spine feels comfortable. Then you take a big breath, and you feel comfortable. You think you can sit like that for a little while? Yes. Now, because we're not doing an intense meditation for an hour, it's nice not to move, but the main object we thought to teach now is to use the breath first today for calming. Now, has anyone done anapanasati before, breathing before? No. Have you done? No. Then I don't know if you want to count. Sometimes for beginners, if you're restless, we give counting first, but we'll try with the breathing, and if you can't get on with the breathing, then we'll do the counting. Now, I'm not a Vipassana teacher, okay? I am only teaching you calming, so I won't give you a lot of technical advice. So make yourselves nice and comfortable. Now, make your hands comfortable. The reason we put our hands like this is because they don't get hot. But if you have a neck problem, then you can put your hands here. This is the most comfortable. If you have any problem with the top of your back, to put your hands here. Sometimes people find that more comfortable, because otherwise you can feel it dragging if you put it here. Do you feel it dragging on your neck? Then try. And what we're going to do, we're just going to very carefully breathe in and out and try to see the in and out. Now, if you get a thought, which you will, nobody can sit quietly without getting a thought. The idea is when that thought comes, to note it. Now we have our senses, yes? So we have hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, and the mind, thinking. So what we do, if we see something that's happened in the past, sometimes we remember something, we have a memory, we say seeing, seeing, seeing. Usually by the third time of in your mind saying seeing, the seeing will have gone. You know, your mind can only do one thing at a time. So it can't keep the two. It can't keep the seeing and the noting. That is the idea. The idea is not to take what you are seeing, and to bring it in. The seeing has just now started our thought process to go like this a little bit. But we can go on and on and on and on, thinking. Then we can hold it. Then before we know, our meditation session is over, but we are distressed and unhappy. We have to learn to let go of whatever comes. Touching also. Touching, feeling. So I think we will try that. If you have a problem with that, you can do the counting. The counting is very nice. Yes? So, do we have a timer? Let's see, I'll do on mine. So I thought maybe to start, as we don't know each other, to just do maybe 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes to see how you feel. If you like that, then you can go on with that. If you are having a problem, oh, thank you, Vanity. If you are having a problem, I've never used one of those before. I've never used. What do I do? Just think. Oh, thank you. So I forgot what I was saying now. So and then if you have a problem with that, then we can find another way. As I say, there are 40 calming meditations. Some people, breathing is suitable because everybody breathes and we have it there. But if breathing is a problem and the mind is active, we can do something else for you. And just remember that you are not trying to just go like this. That's what it isn't. No. You calm the body, you allow the thought to come, and you just throw it away instantly. Okay? Now I've got a clock here somewhere. Oh, here it is. There's a timer on here. How long would you like to do? 5 minutes? And then we can go again after 5 minutes. What does everyone think?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rosiama? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Everybody comfortable? Have a little wiggle and make yourself nice and comfortable. Okay. Yeah. I always tell the children, have a little scratch, pick your nose, then nothing for a while. Okay. I don't know if anyone shy would like to say anything.
I had twice thoughts coming into. First Friday, I thought I will come next Friday, and then
Oh,
next
yeah.
if it's there, and then next I thought about Kisali's operation on Friday.
Yes, I thought about your operation also.
I got twice it came. I got disturbed twice. I thought
That's good.
thought and
That's good. We have the breath all the time, so why shouldn't we use it? You go, now let's say for instance, you go into the bank, okay, and it's you queue, and you're just going to go, behind that line, you're behind that line, and someone goes in front of you. What do? You've been waiting 5 minutes. What do? That person has just pushed in. What would you do? No answer? You'd be upset. You'd be angry, yes? So what do? You just go, you just watch your breath for a few seconds. And then that thought and that arising passes. And if that doesn't work, then you have compassion for them and think, well, they're in a hurry, let them go, I've got time. But if you use the thought, also if you're at work and there's a very stressful situation at work going on around you, and you think, I can't cope with this, it's too much, what do? You find a quiet place and you watch your breath for can only be a few seconds, and your mind is calm. The problem doesn't go away, the problem is still there. If you have a fight at home with your husband or your wife or your children are difficult, you do the same thing. Then that anger and that all that trouble has gone, and you go back, and hopefully the argument's finished, the problem is finished. Also, I was thinking of your operation. You're going to be frightened, yes, you're going to have pain. Now we can deal with both those things. The fear, you just watch your breath again and calm your body. Then the fear will go. The anesthetic is no problem. You go to sleep, you don't know anything. And when you wake up, they give you medicine for your pain. But we have to look at pain in the same way. I suffer with chronic pain, but it doesn't stop me. Sadhu will tell you, what did I come with today? Trolley and how many bags? I came on the bus and the underground. I don't let it stop me because I have my breath.
Very heavy bag.
Oh, I have my breath. Sitting here, I get a pain. I have my breath. I note it, and I love it. It's part of my body. So when you have the pain, you have to think, this is my body. Well, I'm using the word in the conventional sense, okay, not in the Buddhist sense. So you say, it's my body, I have pain, it's normal for me to have pain now. I've just had an operation. Then you watch your breath. And you watch the pain, you can actually see the pain. The Buddha taught us that everything is impermanent. The pain is impermanent. It's not one long, long pain. If you watch it carefully, it goes up and then it goes. Do you know anatomy? Yes, you know the synapses and the nerves? It's just like that. It's as if it's going along, is it the sodium pump? I can't remember. It's going along the nerve, and then it sort of jumps, and you see it finish, and it's gone for a slight second, then it will start again. So you know it's impermanent, and you know it's going to go away. It's not going to stay. So you can, if with your breath, you just lie there, you watch your breath, you can calm your body, then the pain is less without the stress. Because with the stress you get the adrenaline, and then the problems begin. Anybody else with that?
Yeah, when I meditate, not the thoughts, but the sound. Because this clock was very loud for me. So
Yes.
what I should do?
You just note it. You just notice hearing, hearing, hearing. But you know, the thing is, it's very strange. You have the clock, but we're going to try sometime again. But we don't notice the clock. I didn't hear the clock. I didn't hear it.
No thought, only the noise.
But that's normal. That's very normal. I mean, we all hear that. We just note it. And for people that are advanced meditators, the arrival of the sound and the leaving is gone so quickly they don't know what it is, because they're just used to not taking any notice. But you're just hearing. And if it gets so bad, then you use it to meditate on the sound. Same as the breath. In, out, the same. No one else?
I couldn't hear anything.
No, I didn't hear anything. No. But then we always sit and meditate. Yeah. I did have thought, I was thinking about the young lady, which she came out towards the end, and I actually held on to it, which was naughty. I should have let it go. Did you find the breathing okay? Yeah.
I was listening to the clock, and I actually did breathe along with the clock.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. The other thing is, when you're in hospital, if that is difficult, counting, we start, you're not a baby, but we start the very small ones off with counting. And what you teach them, to count to 1 to 5, and then to go to 5 to 1. And if you make a mistake, you have to go back again. Like if you do 5, 4, 2, then you have to go back to 5 and start again. It's very good for your concentration. And we had a girl last class who was very fidgety. We gave her that and she settled. I was quite surprised in the counting. Anything you want to say? I've never done a class like this. It's a new invention. I usually just do a samatha class. But this is your class and what you want to do. You want to say anything, Andy? No. Okay. So do you want to go back and try a little bit more?
Yeah.
It was good, yes? It was nice. 10 minutes this time. I was thinking 20.
That's fine.
What is the time? Do we have time to do 20 minutes? There's the boss, she's at the back there. Would you like to do 20 minutes? Try? If you wander off and move, we try not to move, because when we move, it does disturb us. But what to do?
It makes me coughing, you know.
Yeah, I can hear you coughing. But then that's a noting also. I've got terrible wind for some reason. It's a noting. It's a noting. And when I was in Burma, there was a day, 24 hours, I didn't do any meditation. I don't know what was wrong with my head. I didn't do any meditation. And I kept saying to myself, I kept noting, I'm not doing any meditation. Why am I not doing any meditation? And then I went to see my teacher. Every other day you have your interview with your teacher. You don't talk to anybody else. You don't look at anybody else. You just look at the floor. And I told him, I said, I haven't done any meditation. And he said, he didn't ask me why. He said, well, what did you do? So I said, I didn't do any meditation. But what did you do? I said, I just noted I wasn't doing any meditation. Note what the mind is doing. That's what he said. You know, so moving is, they tell you not to move, but sometimes you have to move. But try not to. We do 20 minutes. Any criticism? You can tell me if you don't like what I say or if I'm wrong. It's your class, not mine. And then after 20 minutes we said, didn't we? Let's go up, not down. Oh, 23, 20, 21. How do we go and start here? Okay. No. So, this you use in times of stress, where you should do it all the time. It can become a habit. I know we're not supposed to have habits, but you do find that with practice that most of your day is breathing, and you don't take in the rubbish from outside, and your life is a lot calmer. When that telephone's going 10 times and there's somebody wants to tell you something and you don't want to hear, but you listen out of politeness, you don't take it away, you just stop for a few minutes and just give yourself your breath, calm yourself, and most of the time that is gone. Because only the one thought can come at a time. You can't, it's impossible. The brain cannot think of two things at a time. And with a thought, we can do good and bad. So there are the 17 thought processes. We don't want that thought to go into those 17 thought processes, because we don't want to have a reaction like the woman in the bank who jumps the queue. We don't want it to go far enough that we go up and say, hey you, I was before you, go back, and have a fight with her in the bank. We don't really want to do that, do we? I don't know, maybe you do. But just for those few seconds. And we don't know what's going on in her life. Sometimes we're thinking of something else, and we just go, and we don't look around and take notice of what's around us. So we have to think that also. And when we see people, there are a lot of carers out there in the world, and they're caring for people at home and they have stress. So we have to have a little compassion also, and try not to fight with those we love. It's very easy. But just that breath, even if you think you're right, that breath can make you understand that it's not important. Did anybody notice anything about the breath?
Thoughts are very short. When thought comes, it's when I breathe in, breathe out, but breathe in and thought comes, before breathe out is gone.
That's good. That's good. You don't want to hold that thought. Later on in very advanced meditation, we can use those thoughts to gain enlightenment. But I don't think that's for me this life. But thoughts are very important to learn from also. And we can learn from a thought if we can catch it. If we can't eliminate the thought, at least we can try to understand the thought and stop it before something bad happens. We can do good or bad, but we want to keep calm. We want to have upekkha, equanimity. We're happy, but we're not happy. We're not unhappy. There are many things in our life that make us unhappy. And that is the idea, is to use the breath, and then afterwards you are calm and you can think of your problem. I used to teach the children before the exam, just go in, sit down, while they're giving out the papers, just watch your breath. Calm your whole body. And then slowly go through your paper, do it slowly. And then, if you have a problem, you go to your breath again. I use it constantly, all the time, like that. I was on the bus and the train for a long time today. I was on the underground. Oh, it was so full with all my bags, my baggage, and I got a walking trolley. And I was sitting there. I was so busy. I was just watching my breath. Not listening and watching people on their mobile phones and thinking, oh, my hair's nice, I like her earring. No, I watched my breath. And you'll find, with watching your breath, you can sit longer. When you can gain good concentration, then you can go on and learn Vipassana from a teacher. Now, I learned Mahasi method. Mahasi, we don't learn Samatha first. We go straight into Vipassana. But it's very much like I've taught you today, is the beginning of everything. But you don't need, well, you do need Vipassana, but to begin with, you just need to understand your life and to see what is upsetting you and to alleviate it and be calm. I don't know if that's right, what you want to hear. But I had two heart attacks, and I was in the emergency room in Sri Lanka, Colombo. And there's all these people running around. I must have been really ill, I don't know. I just watched my breath and let them all get on with what they were doing. I didn't care what they were doing. And if you go home and you're going to do breathing, just watch what happens. Watch the breath and see if you can see what the breath is doing. Find out if the breath is permanent or does the breath break. Is the breath just one long thing all the time? Or is there anything else besides the in and out? There's something else. If you practice, you will see it.
I can feel any breath.
That's good. You're very calm. Have you heard of Ajahn Brahm? Everyone's heard of Ajahn Brahm, yes? If you sit next to it, I haven't done it personally, but if you sit next to Ajahn Brahm, sometimes people think he's dead because they don't think he breathes, because he's so gone. They just look at him for a long time and there's no breath. But
They thought when Ajahn Chah was in the intensive care, wasn't it? He was not breathing for long periods and then it comes back.
yeah. I mean, you are still breathing. They tell me you breathe through your ears, but I've never experienced that myself. Makes sense because you've got the tube that goes there, but I've never actually. But we are at the very beginning of our journey. It's an exciting journey. I think it is. And how you can live in a world, a terrible world, but you can live with Upekkha. Not saying you don't feel when we see all the refugees and the killing and everything. We feel. We feel in a different way. Anyway, I don't know. Anybody want to say it? Any comments? No? Then I think it's time to round up the show. Rosie? What does the boss say at the back there?
Fine.
Just tired. He's been at work all day. So let us just give now. I'll do it in English. May you all be well, happy and peaceful. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May you gain the merit from your time here meditating, your visiting to the temple, your puja, and also undertaking meditation, which is one of the important things the Buddha taught us that we must do. May this merit make you happy today, tomorrow, and the rest of this life, and may you continue to gain merit to carry over to your next lives. May you be well, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.